if the lead and the score for the Seattle Mariners is well in play, that adrenaline will carry them through 9 innings. If it doesn't, it wears off quick. So look for a fast start for Seattle, and you know Gausman's trying to prevent that.
Trying to get the Blue Jays to the World Series for the first time in 32 years. The Mariners are in the championship series for the first time in 24 years. They are 4 wins away from their first trip ever to the Fall Classic.
High energy guy at the plate. I would think he is swinging first pitch, and it'd be interesting to see if Gausman gives him a first pitch fastball.
It is Randy Arozarena. Off we go in the American League Championship Series with a fastball away on to Arozarena, who went just 4 for 23 in the division series. They got to get him going, and if they do, it wouldn't be one bit surprising.
Not at all. He lives for these moments in the postseason, and he is one of the emotional players in their lineup.
2 balls and no strikes. This lineup, John, deep and powerful, but with that, often his streakiness, they hit a lot of home runs, but for the most part, quiet in that division series.
Yeah, they need to control the strike zone, which Toronto does extremely well, and a good start here for Seattle when Gausman basically probably took about 2 innings to throw 3 balls against the Yankees. It seemed like he was so pinpoint. A little extra rest. He's going to be a little strong. That fastball command sets up his split finger fastball, which seems like everybody swings at.
Finds the zone. It's 3-1. 4 years with the Blue Jays. Only Framber Valdez has won more games and pitched more innings than Kevin Gausman over his 4 years since coming here. 13th year total in the big leagues. The ace of the Jays, whose 3-1 pitch to Arozarena is fouled off and it's full.
See, that's what makes him so tough. Even behind the count, his fastball is going to play at 95, 96. The height of it's going to be huge because when he starts throwing that split finger fastball, hitters have to guess right away if that's a fastball they can hold and swing or if it's a split out of the zone.
Fouled off. Arozarena's in the championship series for the first time since one of the greatest postseason runs ever in 2020 when he hit 10 home runs in 20 games for Tampa Bay. Leading things off for Seattle and bouncing a ball towards the middle. Ernie Clement behind second for the first out. Clement's part of this Blue Jays defense. It's been one of the best in baseball this year. They've got a Gold Glover up the middle in Dalton Varsho, flanked by Santander and Lucas. And while Blue Jays lose the bat of Bo Bichette at short, they get the glove of Andres Gimenez, who's a 3-time Gold Glover. So an upgrade defensively at short, with Clement making that first play at second, and Alejandro Kirk, one of the top defensive catchers in the game. So here is Cal Raleigh. 60 home runs during the regular season. There's been a lot more of that in the postseason. He showed that he's not all home runs. He hit 380 in the division series, and that, John, is his 7th single of these playoffs.
Yeah, and again, I expect a lot of this out of the Seattle Mariners against Gausman. If they can command the first pitch and get some traffic on, force Gausman to change his approach and throw more splits. Be interesting to see how many fastballs they're able to hit tonight against Gausman.
So as Tom is telling us, Raleigh has owned Kevin Gausman. Kevin just happy to keep him in the ballpark right there as he spins the slider into Julio Rodriguez.
And again, when you're facing this aggressive team as Seattle is, if you make quality pitches, you're going to get quick outs. But if you don't, you're going to have traffic on and trying to pitch your way out of jams.
On an 0-1, Rodriguez climbs the ladder and fouls it back, as aggressive as they come and as dynamic and talented as they come when he's right. He had the game-winning double in Game 2 against the Tigers, but he's 0 for his last 14 with 7 Ks.
Haven't seen the splitter yet, and I actually like that. When you can go through the lineup early and not show them a ton of splits and get through it, that'd be a great bonus for the pitcher.
Here's the 0-2. There was a splitter. And our player profile sponsored by Liberty Mutual. Julio Rodriguez in his 4th season in the major leagues, and he's had a trend going here. This is not just this year, but really every season. Slow starts in the second half, though, as good as anybody in baseball.
And they needed it in the second half.
They took off, winning 17 of 18 in September at one point. That's a line drive base hit to right center field. Varsho's over to cut it off. Raleigh heads for third. Seattle's got him cornered in the first inning. That is when he is at his best, using the whole field. Rodriguez snaps the 0 for 14 with a base hit here in the first.
Tried to go fastball up, and they threw it center cut, middle of the belt, and that's just going to be too good of a pitch with 2 strikes. And Seattle needs a fast start. When you talk about a 15-inning game, a long trip, delays, getting in, trying to get your bearings, you really can play off the emotion of adrenaline as long as you have the lead and are swinging the bat.
Big chance for the Mariners in this first inning. 1st and 3rd for Jorge Polanco. Bounces one left side. Raleigh's headed home. Barger's throw is there. The tag from Kirk, and he's out. Addison Barger throws home, and they cut down Cal Raleigh.
Well, the only player you couldn't hit it to that softy and not get a play at the plate. When you're at third base, you're reading the ball to see if that's a ball that they can turn for 2, or you force the action at home. And he was forcing the action at home.
Really close, though. I'm surprised they didn't even take a look at this. Ball, of course, beat him, but Kirk playing by the rules and making sure he's not blocking the play. There's a bit of a lane there. I don't know, John.
Yeah, that heel, whether or not the heel got down before the tag.
Seems like worth it. You get 2 challenges in the postseason. Seems like it'd be one worth taking a look at. Instead, 2 gone. They don't challenge. And Josh Naylor comes up. I think he's safe.
It's close. It really is. You're right.
Dan Wilson in his first season as the manager, first full season, decides to play out. 2-0 on Josh Naylor. Seems like every time something good happens for the Mariners lately, this guy's in the middle of it.
Yeah, he sure is. I mean, he is putting the ball in play in key moments in the postseason and just coming up with big plays, whether it's with his legs stealing bases or hits or defensive plays.
2 on, 2 out. Naylor lifts on off the end of the bat to center field. Varsho coming on, puts it away. A missed opportunity for the Mariners. Kevin Gausman gets out of it with some help from his defense. Jays come to bat when you come back. $500 for the nosebleeds to watch these Blue Jays and this offensive machine as George Springer gets ready to lead things off. The rest of the lineup looks like this. Lucas and Vlad Jr. Addison Barger is the cleanup man, followed by Alejandro Kirk and Dalton Varsho. Ernie Clement 9 out of his last 11 with Anthony Santander in left field and Andre Jimenez hitting 9. Well, Bryce Miller for the Mariners started Game 4 of the division series on Wednesday, so this is short rest. But he's the only guy, as far as the starters go, that didn't pitch on Friday. So by default, he gets the ball in Game 1.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is he's trying to control the tempo, and he's going to turn it over to the bullpen for a lot of guys. And there's the breakdown. He has a lot of ways to get you out, but be careful with the fastball up. And when he gets 2 strikes, he's got to turn them into better outs than he has on the year.
Facing the top hitting team in baseball, which showed every bit of that in the division series. And on the first pitch, George Springer lights the fire. New series, same story for this Blue Jays offense. 1 pitch in, it's 1-0.
Yeah, that jacket, if it gets a lot of use, it's going to travel. And it's going to travel beyond this series. Springer hit a 3-run homer earlier in the year on a fastball to left field. This time he hits a fastball to right field.
And now Nathan Lucas takes a strike. They scored 34 runs in the 4 games against the Yankees. And yes, they collected the hits. Yes, they hit with runners in scoring position, but their power went to another level from what we had seen in the regular season. That's 10 home runs in 4+ games.
This one's a little bit of a shock to your system. When you're a starting pitcher on the first pitch, you give up a homer. It's like a quick wake-up call. It's not one you anticipate.
Miller to Lucas with the 1-1. A swing and a miss on that high fastball.
Now Miller does have that split finger that he will use, maybe not to the same degree that Gausman relies on it. Gausman basically a 3-pitch pitcher, and you saw how many pitches that Bryce Miller can throw at you.
Splitter that he added last year, part of a breakout season for him. Season ago, he was top 10 in the majors with a 2.98 ERA, but he's dealt with an elbow issue all season. Even when he's been on the mound, it's not quite felt right, and has had the biggest increase in ERA of anybody in the majors, from 2.98 last year to 5.68 this year. Looked a lot more like the old version of Bryce Miller against the Tigers last week, though. There is that splitter. Mentioned that he added it last year. Came up with a grip by watching video of his opposing starter tonight, Kevin Gausman, and how he grips his. The 27-year-old from Texas to Lucas with a 2-2.
Fastball is up to 97 miles an hour, but too much in the middle of the plate. This guy loves fastballs 95 or greater. I mean, he almost hit 600 on those pitches in this month. So this month he's seeing the fastball pretty well. I was expecting off speed here.
And it was. It's popped back and out of play. This lineup, the best contact lineup in baseball, and nobody makes more of it than Nathan Lucas, who in a lot of ways embodies this Blue Jays team. Yeah, they've got the stars, but it's these guys at the fringes of the roster from pretty much off of the radar to have career years this year. Lucas is right at the top of that list. On another 2-2. Fouls it again.
And there's no easy outs, and that's what they do. I mean, when he has more than 5 pitches in an at-bat, again, in this month where he's done damage, his on-base plus slugging's through the roof. I mean, the more pitches he sees, the better he's gotten in the last 16 or so games.
Here's the 9th pitch, and it's taken in the dirt for ball 3. Well, if you're just tuning in and watching the Blue Jays for the first time this year, this is them.
Yep.
The thunder to begin, and then the guys will grind you. After the leadoff home run, this is a 10-pitch at-bat to Nathan Lucas. Nightmare facing this order. Miller's 3-2. Lucas. That's another,
man.
But off himself this time. Hope he's okay.
Oh, man, that hurts. Golly. And there's the home run. A little bit outer third, and that's why he hit it to right field with such power. I'm telling you right now, though, Lucas, if he can stay in this game, it would be amazing. He hit that ball so hard, I think it's off of his back knee. The pitch on this one, again, is outer third, so that's a little bit of a shock to your pitching mind when you go, hey, it wasn't that bad of a pitch. I'm just trying to figure out which knee it was. Maybe it was the front knee, but this thing is smoked. Yeah, front knee and the top of the knee. For a minute, I thought it was his back knee, but it's at full extension.
Well, given how hard Nathan Lucas had to work just to get here to the major leagues, you figure you're going to have to drag him off for him to come out of the game. This is a guy who spent 10 years in the minor leagues, cut loose by Cleveland, cut loose by Tampa Bay, considered quitting. 31 years old, and he's getting his first real chance in the major leagues this year. Vlad Jr. looms on deck, and we take a look at Fox Foresight, powered by Google Cloud. He's leading the major leagues this postseason with 9 knocked in. Google's giving him 38% chance to make it 10 tonight. Google Cloud powers his real-time insights. The crowd's giving Lucas a hand because he's saying, I ain't coming out, man.
Man, you know that hurts. Golly.
It goes back in there for what would be the 11th pitch, as Bryce Miller looks for the put-away pitch. Now Miller cruised against the Tigers. 4 scoreless innings to begin. Faced just 1 more than the minimum before ran into some trouble in the 5th and got pulled, and the bullpen blew it from there. But already more adversity than he faced in that whole start. Lucas on 1 good leg, fouls it again, and the marathon continues.
And it would be so tempting to just drop this curveball back foot, meaning he's already shy on pitches inside that he fouled off his knee. If he had a breaking ball that goes to the back foot, he'd be a little tentative in swinging on that pitch.
Ball takes ball 4. Wow. And so he can take his time on that bad leg, getting down there to first. And here comes Vlad Jr. It was as if Guerrero in that division series put it on himself and he said, it's going to be different this time. His first at bat, homer. And he carried a lot. I mean, he's carried a lot since he got here, and the hope and the expectations, but specifically into this postseason. The Jays were 0-6 in his career in the playoffs, and he hadn't hit very well in those games. He took all that stuff into game 1 and said it's going to be okay. Ball 1 strike. How you pitching this guy?
Well, right now, I mean, don't watch the film of the last series, that's for sure. Watch the film of the last 2 weeks, and maybe you'd feel good about pitching to him, but you got to mix and match in zones. He does not have one way of hitting. He's not just a pull hitter.
On the line to center field, right at Rodriguez. And that is how Bryce Miller gets the first out of the ball game.
And that's what's going to happen. You know what? In this game, when you're pitching, you got to get some loud outs. You got to get some hard hit balls at people. That's the only way against this team to create a little bit of confidence, because if you have a long at bat like we just saw, or you're not controlling the zone and you're behind in the count, the Toronto Blue Jays are going to have their way with you.
Addison Barger, who started this season in the minors, now finds himself in the championship series hitting cleanup. Coming off a 3-hit game in the clincher against New York. Seattle native. He was born in Seattle, spent his early years in Bellevue, Washington. Is naturally right-handed. He only hits left-handed because he wanted to be more like his favorite player, Ichiro. That's where the leg kick comes in, too. 2-0. Lucas at first, 1 away, 2-0 pitch. Ball high and away, ball 3. And again, you don't have a full tank from Bryce Miller, who's on short rest. Figure a couple times through the order, and a pitching staff that dug deep in game 5. Seattle trying to find a way, pitching the strength, but how much do they have in the tank after what they went through in the division series?
They're just so good with runners on, and runners in scoring position, they get even better. And that's what they're trying to do. Their pressure and what they're trying to create against the other team is their ability to put the ball in play. You can't defend them one way. You can't get a lot of swings and misses.
On his 3-1, Barger takes ball 4. Second walk of this first inning issued by Miller. They're the best team in the American League at home this season, 54-27. Yeah, they showed it during the division series against the Yankees. Scored 23 runs in those 2 games, hit 8 home runs. And you can feel it in here. I mean, they feed off of this crowd. Even when they fall behind, they feel like they have a shot. They're among the leaders in comeback wins. Among the many ways that this series is intriguing, John, it may be two of the best environments in baseball head-to-head between here and back in Seattle.
For sure, especially with this roof being closed here. This crowd here is, man, they are something.
So 2 on and 1 out. Alejandro Kirk, lovable catcher of these Blue Jays, the unofficial captain of the team who came to life the final couple days of the regular season, kept it going with 2 home runs in the division series.
Bryce Miller kind of bullied him a couple times with fastballs, and then the second time tried to do the same thing, and he goes top of the zone double off of him earlier this year. You've got to try to get him to ground the ball right to the infield, try to get a double play, and the best way to do that is off speed, something he has to reach for.
He is the best high fastball hitter in the majors. Running the bank on the Springer home run. That's Kirk taken in the dirt for ball 1. Lucas is second, Barger at first. Kirk fouls it off, and it's 1-1. 26-year-old in his 4th full season in the major leagues, 5'8", 245 pounds. He said, my whole life other players have looked better than me, but then I let my bat do the talking.
And he certainly does. He electrifying player when he swings the bat.
Manager John Schneider, who was a catcher in the minors, got to see Alejandro Kirk right after they had signed him, and he said, well, okay, first of all, this guy's not very impressive looking, but then everything you watch him do baseball wise, more and more impressed. Yeah, the bat's awesome, but he said to him what stood out most was the defense. The hands as impressive as he had ever seen on a young catcher.
Yeah, his ability to catch, defend, and hit. Don't be fooled.
It's on this 2-1 pitch. Swats it foul, 2-2. One of the best 2-strike hitters in baseball. Up and down this lineup, you find guys like that. It's just got to be so exhausting to face this.
Well, it is, and not to mention you're a little exhausted because you're coming back on short rest, and you're trying to find a way to impose your will on the mound, and it's very difficult unless you are pinpointing your fastball and you're getting them reaching, because they don't expand the zone. I don't think people understand. In the game of baseball, this is not the norm. Swing and miss is the norm. Homer's the norm.
Fly to center field. Polanco's out. Rodriguez is on. It's Polanco for out number 2.
Just so happens 2 of the 4 teams that are doing it better than anybody, Milwaukee and Toronto, are here for a reason, because collectively they put the ball in play more than the other team.
You know that it was a big series from the whole team when you can hit .438 and have 5 extra base hits and nobody's even talking about it.
No.
Dalton Varsho had a monster series and it gets lost in the shuffle. He's got him at first and second, 1 away. And shots one to center field. Rodriguez will drift back and make the catch to end the inning. They started the division series with a first-inning home run from Vlad Jr. They start the championship series with a first pitch home run from George Springer.